Hello, and welcome to another update video about Solana. Hope you all have a great weekend. Wanted to start actually on the longer time frame chart because in the last few videos we focused a lot on the smaller time frame. So it's just important just from time to time to get an idea of the bigger picture as well. Just want to share it with you again because you can see it a little bit better maybe on the larger time frame. So the idea of an Elliott wave triangle is being followed really nicely here. Okay, so I'm primarily following the yellow wave count. The idea that this is a wave 4 has basically been with us for the last few months. We had a breakout attempt. Which, as I said, technically would invalidate the D wave. Okay, so normally in such a triangle, the D wave must not go above the B wave high, but it's a bit of a gray area in Elliott wave with these triangles, so-called barrier triangle. In such a triangle, which you could call an ascending triangle, maybe in non-Elliott wave language. In these patterns, the D wave could technically go a little bit above the B wave if it's not sustained, and it wasn't sustained. We didn't even have a close of the daily candle above that B wave top at $190. So I continue to have the perspective that this could be a triangle pattern in the yellow wave count, as long as we are holding the $119 level, 119. So the yellow count is at the moment what I'm following. That means the E wave is likely is currently unfolding in this wave 4 pullback correction, sideways correction, and we're waiting for a bit of a reaction here somewhere in that region, and that could be the start of wave 5. Even though, as I will show you on the smaller time frame, it is likely that we get a bit more of an A, B, C structure in wave E before we go up higher. Yeah? So that E wave could turn into a more extended A, B, C structure. And then it would also look good in terms of proportions if we consider this sort of as a triangle pattern. Yeah. And then, the next rally could be the last one in this bull market, and it might take us to $444 plus. So this is overall what I'm tracking for Solana. I mean, there is this other scenario here highlighted in white, which would be my fallback scenario. If we really break below $119, then we could be dealing with a flat correction here where we had an A wave down, a B wave up, and we're now moving down in wave C. Now that's the scenario that I would have to follow if we don't see a substantial upside reaction from this price region, from the price range between $119 and $190. But again, that wouldn't be bearish. It would just mean that, the C wave in white to the downside could extend a little bit further, maybe into the region between $109 and $72. But then from there, the market could attempt another rally. So far, we haven't seen any evidence that the correction is over. Yeah, and I've been watching for this E wave for a while now. Now that breakout attempt made me doubt a little bit that this E wave would still happen, but again, it was not a sustained break. So we fell back into the range, which is we can go back to our scenario of that E wave. And now let's take a look at the shorter time frame chart. Here you can see the B wave of the triangle, which topped in May, the C wave of the triangle, which bottomed in June, the D wave, which likely topped here. And as I shared with you, I'm watching for an ABC structure. So A, B, C. And there is not really any change here in, since my last update, which I sent through on Discord, which was done overnight actually. I highlighted the A wave has turned into a 5-wave pattern to the downside. The next micro support levels are 152.66 and 149. And I'd like to see a break above 165 for a first indication that a local low has formed in this A wave. Now, the market since then dipped a bit further. Yeah, there was no break above $165. So the decline is still unfolding. And we've tested now the $149 level, which is what you will see on the live chart, short-term chart. So we've now tested that $149 level. And bullish divergences are building here on the 1-hour chart. You see it, the market is forming lower lows. Actually, these bullish divergences have been building since Thursday. Lower lows on the price chart, higher lows on the RSI. Now, the 4-hour will give us a bit more clarity because I think on the 1 hour, some of them are not valid. So Here on the 4-hour, we also have a slight bullish divergence. It's not that strong, but we have a slight bullish divergence. We are oversold on the 4-hour time frame. This would be ideal for it to turn around somewhere here. Let's go back to the 1-hour time frame. Just 1 second. Just trying to figure out, is there a trend line we can draw? Not really. There isn't really a trend line we can draw. It looks a bit better on the 4-hour actually. Let me just, because you have the wicks here, so, but I don't like to cut through a wick, so yeah, maybe not. There's no reliable trend line here. Sometimes you get quite reliable trend lines that, or at least relevant ones that keep the trend down clearly. This here, I don't know, with only 2 touch points, it's not that clear. But we are now in this support zone. Doesn't mean it has to turn around here. A break above now, I mean 163.46, but the earliest signal would be a break above the 50% FIB level, so $158. Getting a break above 158 would be an early indication that a low is formed. That means probably a low in the A wave. The decline seems to be a 5-wave move, so I would still expect a BC pattern to form, because the if the A wave is a 5-wave move, it typically indicates another 5-wave move down is to come, right? So that we get this larger ABC structure. It would be time now for this A wave to think about completing and turning around. The wave count is full. We've got 5 waves down. Okay, you can never rule out a few more downside squiggles, but I would really prefer to see now a reaction here somewhere. Oversold, and then the wave count is full as well. Of course, it could test 145 maybe before turning around, but please be aware we're now at a point where this could happen. But I was already watching for it here, but it was only 3 waves down. Now it needed that additional low, apparently, and you can see it here. I mean, we broke this trend line now. Now, is that reliable? Probably not, but seems like we're trying to break out of the structure, and maybe if now that upside momentum can happen, I mean, the resistance is clear, resistance is defined. So this is a resistance area that if we get a B wave, which would be an ABC structure itself, should reach. It's between 169.92 and 183.53. So bottom line is the wave count is full to the downside. Does it mean we have to turn around? No, but I'm watching for it. And I'm watching for another BC pattern. But ultimately, it's still a bullish scenario just at the moment without evidence that a overall wave 4 correction is completed. Hope that helps. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.